Alright, boys, we are back. It's 6:18 in the morning. I'm sick. I was in bed like, man, I really gotta get better so I can make this build guide. And then I just thought it would be hilarious if I just made the build guide while I'm sick. And it's just impossible to listen to. So we're gonna do that. We've got a little Witchhunter. The tree is pretty crazy. The tree is pretty crazy. We're using the weapon swap points. Heck yeah. We've got some funny gear. You can just ignore all of this, because I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. But we used all the, whatever these are called. Forget the name of these every time. We used a bunch of skin transfers, and I just put on the dumbest looking stuff I could. So we got a cowboy hat on now. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead, start a map display, and then I'll show a Zesh kill, and then I'll talk about this tree and the skills and stuff. But yeah, the build's very fun. It's got the mandible in it. Make sure you enable him if you're making a video. It's just loud and annoying. Oh yeah, also great idea to use the Vulkan renderer, and then the first map you're doing after you launch your game, which is the laggiest one with this renderer because the shader cache, on a pack size map for XP, all great to show off how cool your build is. Half your monsters are invisible still, but yeah, basically we're using Galv Shards, Whirling Slash to move. We don't need movement speed. It's pretty fast. It's pretty fast, it's pretty strong. The single target's really good. Yeah, this is like a bad display of how good it is, because it's just lagging. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing it. Got it to 90, almost 97 in a very short amount of time, courtesy of a boost from one of the viewers. Coincidentally, it's a guy that asked me at the start of the video if we're streaming right now. No, bro, we're not streaming at 6 in the morning. Shout out Cafe. But yeah, the build's been really fun. Plasma Blast, probably one of the coolest abilities in the game. Don't know how I've been sleeping on the crossbows. I think early League we talked about how much potential the weapon swap stuff had. But yeah, nobody really made a build that I thought was that cool. And I'm not bored of Twister or anything. I still think it's probably the most fun build in the game, but I figured we got some currency, why don't we mix it up? I actually only ended up buying 4 pieces of gear from the Twister build. So I've got all of the Twister gear, and then I bought a Megalo, a pair of gloves, a crossbow, and what else? A Megalo, gloves, oh, and a ring. And then I just used a Calandra's Touch. So we'll go over all the gear obviously, but I did buy the best crossbow on trade because why not? Spent like 400 div on it, but I was rocking with a 40 div one that was like 85% of the power as the one I got now. Yeah, we've got Ambrosia with the Wastegate set up. Let's wait for this energy shield to come back. Ambrosia with the Wastegate set up. Pretty chill. But yeah, we've just been blasting XP maps, a ton of pack size, trying to make our game lag. We got our CPU on life support. Yeah, that's how it goes. But I want to show off the single target. You either get a crit and everything dies, or you run around like a goofy for a second. But the build's got a sniper, a shotgun, and an SMG in it. It's pretty cool. I'll show that off in the boss room, or in the hideout after this. It's really sick when you don't have animations, but the Witchhunter, like AoE explosion stuff, 10% chance to detonate, is actually really gross. It's pretty broken. It's better than Herald of Ice, that's for sure. and it can self-chain, which is pretty cool. And the Galv Shards has got Fork in it, Nova Proj, if you haven't put that together yet. So you're pretty safe, because you're shooting in a circle. You know what would be really funny if I look over at OBS and my mic is muted. Okay, we're good. It's not muted. Let's go. Yeah, Witchhunter, pretty OP. It's actually faster than the Ritualist, because of the weapon swap points. It's not really important to me that we complete this entire thing. Kind of just want to shoot the boss in his head. So we're gonna pull up. You're gonna press your funny load plasma blast. Make sure you don't hit the boss below his energy shield because we're using a support. That means we gotta hit him on full life. So, okay, we only hit him for 2 mil. Ignore that. And then you just Glock switch him down. This is a really bad display of damage. Okay, usually... Sorry, that's funny. Usually he gets hit way harder than that. That's actually hilarious though. That's like the legit worst case scenario. We're gonna show... Sorry, that's hilarious. I can't stop coughing. Somebody's gonna be so mad in the comment section, and I just want you to know, if you're in this comment section and you're angry because of how unprofessional this is why I did it. I did this to make you mad. We'll go ahead and show off the Zesh kill. It'd be really fun if we didn't get a crit in here too, because then I have to actually like splice and edit the video, and we can't just like yap like an idiot. But yeah, we've got the funny support gem in here, the flow, and yeah, this is like the most satisfying boss kill in the game. Like the torsos are pretty cool because just by nature of how they operate, like they jump around the screen. But I don't care what anybody says. When you stand in front of Zesh and you put a barrel in his face and you just flip a coin, whether he gets one shot or not, it's pretty hilarious. I think the worst you can hit him for is like 5 mil, and then you just Glock switch him down, Swiss cheese his ass. You know how that goes. Turn him into SpongeBob. But yeah, the plasma blast is like the sniper shot. You just load up a Barrett 50 cal and point it at his head. And then the shock burst rounds, that's like your Mac 11, your Glock with the fucking switch on top, drum mag. And then your Galv Shards is like your shotgun, but imagine a shotgun that like shoots in a circle. Doesn't really make any sense, but it's got fork, it's got inherent chain with beams, which is pretty cool. If you use the red MTX like we have, sometimes if you're shooting like quick enough, it like takes all the particles off the screen and actually helps your performance. So this red Galv Shard's actually pay to win because you don't lag as bad. I keep talking about how laggy it is. It actually isn't laggy at all. It's just laggy because I just launched the game. But yeah, let's go to the boss real quick and let's pray we get a crit so my build doesn't look terrible. So good old fashioned, wait for him to spawn. You know the drill. You're gonna get your plasma blast ready. You're gonna park it right here. You're gonna hit emergency reload, and then you're gonna one tap him. Okay, you're not gonna one tap. We're gonna switch him down. I want to show one tap. You one tap him the majority of the time. I guess I'll just edit this part out and I'll show that real quick. But because of the support setup we have with ambush, your chance of critical hitting him is actually really good. And if you get a crit, you can bifurcate it. I think that's how you pronounce that word. And then, yeah, obviously the Rockiata is inverting his resistances. Mid impact's pretty good. Ambrosia, also pretty good single source of damage. I haven't actually POV'd if there's anything better than Ambrosia, but it's novel and cool and pretty sick. You could probably put something like D-Liv in there. It might be like marginally better or something. But yeah, I guess I'll just cut to a one-shot clip. So BRB. All right, surely this one. Second try is a one-shot, surely. Okay, there we go. That's usually how that goes. That's usually how that goes. Let's go pick up our loot, and then we'll segue that into showing off the gear in the tree. Look at that. Look at that streamer client, just full effect in the middle of the morning. I was about to say middle of the night. Middle of the morning doesn't really make sense, but let's get a little portal going. Disable this ant in the hideout so you guys don't have to listen to cough in your ears, so you have to listen to that because it's funny. And yeah, I guess we'll start with the gear. So ignore how everything looks. This is all bait. Siege crossbow just happened to be the best one with the best mods. I guess I can price check, see if there are similar ones that are using the same mods that I got. Alright, good luck buying one of these. They don't exist anymore. Maybe if we drop this down. I sold some pretty good ones. This one's for 200 div with hybrid fizz. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, you pretty much just want as much fizz as you can get, and a lightning mod or an all LE mod, 2 additional bolts, as much crit as you can get, and +6 attack. The reason you want +6 attack is because it works with your herald, so it's actually better than +7 proj, or however high that goes. I POB'd this for about 10 seconds. Increased attack damage against rare unique is pretty solid. It's probably something else you can put in there, like the 5 gain extra. But yeah, this is a siege crossbow. Ignore that it looks like a makeshift. It was not a good idea to use the skin transfers before the build guide. I don't know why I did this. This is a Calandra's Touch. Obviously the ninja will be in the description. You can just copy the gear. This is just a regular breach ring with triple res and double lightning. So the double lightning actually scales harder than lightning and fizz, which was interesting. Not sure why. Don't really care to figure out why either. Just get double lightning. Throw some lightning mods in there. Pretty solid. We got prefix rarity. Obviously we're pretty much res capped. We could div this and get it res capped, but I'm too lazy. This is an energy shield chest. 1182. Double res, faster start of energy shield recharge. This mod for a lot of people is a dead stat, so you can get these really cheap. For us it's not, because we don't have a way to heal our energy shield. So W mod for us. Same thing goes with the boots. These are just regular energy shield boots with no movement speed. Just triple increased energy shield. Double increased hybrid, whatever, with some max energy shield. Rarity, increased effective socketed. Increased energy shield recharge rate. You know how that goes. Double rarity on Ami, +3 proj, some crit. Glob defenses, max energy shield on a gold amulet. We got some melding in there, pretty solid. Anoint. Attack speed gloves. We actually had to buy these because the last ones we got, we corrupted frenzy charges on, which is better for the other build, but not for this one. Good old-fashioned headhunter with a max energy shield corrupt. Can't go wrong here. We don't care about max life. We don't care about strength because we don't use that. We have CI, so we don't need life. Helmet, as much energy shield as you can get. We have a dead stat on this one. Don't care. It's got as much energy shield as we can get. You can actually probably get a double rarity ring if you don't have chaos res on your helmet for some reason. If you can get cold, rarity, fire, or lightning, any 2 LEs with rarity, you can get a really nuts helmet. You know I'm lazy and I'm not doing all that. And these are regular flasks with a bunch of charges in them. And I turned them into lesser life flasks because it'll engagement farm somebody on Twitch. Here we got a sky sliver, 3 sockets, attack speed. That's how we're moving around. Yeah, that's the gear. Obviously charms. We don't use a stun charm because we take a basement in the tree. I guess I'll start with the tree now. CI, if you don't know what this does, immune to chaos damage, immune to bleed. That also includes poison. The bleed part's really nice because we don't have to run a bleed charm. We're picking up patient barrier. A basement, if you take this mod with CI, you do not have to take a stun charm. That means that you can run a slowing charm, which is really nice, because chilled ground is corny. And we don't want to come down here and anoint or grab this point, because that's a lot of points. Obviously, we have to start at this part of the tree, which kind of sucks, because all these mods are bad, but there's not attack speed at the start. And if you're not familiar with Weapon Master, we get 100 passive skill points for weapon set points. We're using about what, 60 or something? I don't remember what the original total is. 124, so 50. Around 50. Adrenaline Rush does work even on weapon swap, so keep that in mind. Present is really good. You get a bunch of attack damage. Anytime you see a green line, this is for your damage. Anytime you see an orange line, or red, might be colorblind. Anytime you see this, just think movement speed or attack speed. We're pretty much picking up all the attack speed we can get, and then all the damage we can get with our weapon swaps. So like all of this, obviously, this is our crossbow, so it's green, that's damage. The reason it has to be that way is because of Garricon's Resolve. Rigwald's Ferocity, I lied. Garricon's Resolve is this up here. Rigwald's gives you more attack speed if used in weapon set 1, so you have to put your Whirling Slash in weapon set 1. And that means you have to put all your damage stuff in weapon set 2. But yeah, we're pretty much just picking up a ton of attack speed wherever we can get it. Attack speed wherever we can get it. Attack speed wherever we can get it. Skill speed, attack speed. Skill speed here. Attack speed here. Scaling with accuracy because of Falcon Dive. Damage over here. Crit over here. More damage here, here. Controlled Metamorphosis with Massive Ring. You guys know how OP this is. We put it in pretty much all of our builds. We're using that to save a ton of points, like 7 or more. Deadly Force, Moment of Truth, Concussive Attack, Staggering Palm, Warding Potions for quality of life. Wildstorm, obviously, really good. More attack speed over here. Defense is down here. Crit over here. And crit over here. It's actually significantly better to take Careful Assassin over Throat Seeker because of the supports we use. Time Lost, going crazy. Increased Effect of Notables is really good. You can also get bonus, so you can get Max Energy Shield, Critical Hit Chance, bonus, Medium Radius. You can go crazy with that one. These are really cheap. You can, alternatively, you can get an Emerald that has similar things. You can get crit hit chance, crit hit bonus, and glob defenses. You actually can't search for global defenses, so you gotta search for the other 3 mods and scroll down until you find one. You can use Control F to find those on the trade website. So yeah, there are emeralds that exist that have this exact same thing, except it says increase global defenses instead of increase max energy shield. And they're actually really cheap because people can't price check them, which is interesting. Frazzled works really well with Plasma Blast, because Plasma Blast, the way that the skill interacts with the game, 50% more magnitude of shock inflicted, so you can actually get a shock of like 55%, 51%, whatever it is. So in the event that you don't one-shot, which is pretty rare, funny enough we showed us not doing it in the video, but shock burst rounds is just going to hit way harder because the shock is got greater magnitude. But rapid reload's really nice. Anything rapid reload and then any energy shield you can get pretty good. We got one that happened to have some attack speed on it, which is nice. But yeah, that's what you get on the Megalo. Rapid reload, reinforced barrier. You don't need reinforced barrier. Anything with energy shield, really good. And rapid reload. But I think we have 1 sapphire in here with recover mana on kill, magnitude of ailments, some crit, max energy shield, because why not? Puts us over 10k, which is pretty funny. We still have this one from our old character. Too lazy to ever swap this out, but yeah, that's the tree. Pretty solid. Walker of the Wilds is enabling us to get these 3 over here, just so you know. And yeah, these are sick. What else is in the Ascendancy? Culling Strike, if you're not familiar with that. You can pretty much one-shot enemies with any iteration of damage below certain life thresholds. So, regular monsters 30% or below, magic monsters 20% or below, rare 10, uniques 5, so uniques are your bosses. And Decimating Strike, your first hit deals between 5 and 30% of their max life before the damage of the hit is applied. This is insane. Also, the pathway nodes to this happen to be really good too. For enemies that happen to be on low life, you just chunk really hard. That's nice little 70% increased damage, but it's conditional there. There's a nice little 8% increased area of effect on the way to Zealous Inquisition. This is really good. We talked about it for a second earlier, but 10% chance for enemies you deal, for enemies you kill to explode, dealing 100% of their max life as Fizz. Pretty good. Not a lot of enemies are walking around with a bunch of armor, so they're not really safe from this. Undead and demons Really nice because of Abyss League, and really nice because of Breach. So this is a 20% chance for every monster you kill, and these chain too. So you can kill one monster with one click, and then the explosion just chains. So this is really nice. Works a lot like a proliferating herald setup, which is pretty cool. Weapon master we talked about. This has some CDR on the way, which we do not use for anything. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the tree. I guess we'll go over the supports now. So again, we're doing weapon swap stuff. Anytime you see a crossbow skill, it's on 2. Pretty much the only thing that's on 1 is Whirling Slash, if I'm not mistaken. Sniper's Mark might be on... Nope, that's on 2 as well. Emergency Reload's on 2. Wind Dancer is on 1, just because there's... Wind Dancer and Sniper's Mark can jump out of here and you can put in anything else. Haven't really thought about what we could throw in there that would be decent, but you really do not need the 2 of these at all. I was thinking maybe Sniper's Mark and that support gem that takes a Frenzy Charge and turns it into skill speed. But I'm never using this in my maps, I'm just too lazy, and it's just not necessary. It's probably good to use if you don't one-shot with Plasma Blast, you just hit a little Sniper's Mark, and then Shock Burst rounds, because why not? But it works for next critical hit, and Shock Burst rounds does like a rapid fire, so whatever. But Galvanic Shards is your main clear skill. Minion Pact because we're using Companion. I guess I can mute this like this so you don't have to hear him explode. Pause. And you can hear me sniffle instead. But yeah, Minion Pact, if you're not familiar with how this works. Basically, you take 1 life away from your minion, and you get 35% more damage. So, we showed this in every video. A lot of people don't think this works with Brutus Brain. I don't know what to tell you. You can just test it yourself. If you don't believe me, then I don't know. Might need to go to the doctor or something. But yeah, if you look at his little health bar, obviously his health is going down. And yeah, we're getting 35% more damage every time his health goes down. And because we're using CI, 150% of your max life is 1.5. 1.5 is rounded down because it's the decimal. And yeah, this is just one of the best support gems in the game for using CI. You can pretty much use it on everything, and we are, and it's really broken. Fork just happens to work really well with the skill. You click once and just a circle of death happens around you. You saw that in the reveal. Stoicism is pretty good. Alternatively, you can use D-Lib. I think it's worse. It's just objectively worse, actually. I also got this really cool MTX where you turn into a boar. So I might actually put on D-Lib just to use that because it's funny. But the supports, these 2 could probably be swapped out. These 3... Nova Proj, obviously that's letting you shoot in a circle. You take a DPS hit for it, but we don't care because we're forking and chaining. And we're just trying to get these to go off, to be honest with you. This is our main clear. It's insane. This also works with Herald of Thunder. We'll talk about that in a sec. Innervate's just a lot of damage. There's probably a better alternative to this. D-Lib is one that jumps off the page. Elemental Armament 2 is good, but it's not as good as D-Lib. Yeah, something to think about. These 2 could definitely get swapped out, but yeah. Your Galv Shards tooltip does not have to be that high for it to be good. Plasma Blast, this is our single target. In your maps, honestly, you should just only use Shock Burst rounds. You should Plasma Blast the boss and just anticipate that you're going to have to Shock Burst rounds. So keep that in mind, but Ambrosia, consume 20% of your maximum mana flash charges on use. You gain 3% of damage as extra lightning. So just multiply those. It's a lot of damage as extra lightning per flash charge consumed. So you can look how many flash charges you have. Obviously you want to go get flasks that have increased charges to do that. And I'll show you how to do this setup where you have 2 sets of them. Basically you're going to get this funny little belt called the Wastegate. If you've ever tried to get a Headhunter, you know all about this item. So if you look at this one's red, I can put Ambrosia in here just to show it off real quick. So, can't put that there, I guess. Yeah, we're just gonna drain all of my flash charges just to show you that this works even though we don't have it equipped. So if you see this is red, that would imply that you can't use it. You can't actually use it to heal your mana. But if you click, you can see that it's using both of them at the same time. So this is a nice little buggy tech that we're probably not supposed to be using, but obviously it works. And the way you do that is if I unequip it, I won't be able to re-equip it. So you're gonna have to put in your wastegate, and then you equip it, and then you put your headhunter back in, and you hit the well. And yeah, this will continue to gain charges, and it will work with Ambrosia. So that's some pretty cool tech. People have been abusing that since this item got added to the game. So that's what you get for putting this in the pool and preventing us from getting headhunters. It's your fault. Good job, GG. You guys are goated. But yeah, ambush supported skills have 100% more critical hit chance against enemies that are on full life. Make sure that you're not hitting your bosses with whirling slashes before you hit them with your plasma blast, because they will not be at full life if you do that. So keep that in mind. Garukan's resolve, attack critical hit chance with supported skills, has a chance to fork. But you have to move around before you do that. It's not that annoying, because you're not using this until you get to your boss fight anyways, so. Yeah, Rakiata's flow. Obviously this is really good for pinnacles, inverts our resistances, so you just hit stupid hard for no reason. And yeah, there's probably a better setup for here. You might be able to outscale Ambrosia, not sure. A lot of people like inevitable crit and instead of minion pact. Haven't done the math on it, but if you have a good enough weapon, it might be pretty solid. Shock burst rounds. We don't need this to deal ailments, so we just take 25% more LE. Alternatively, you could probably just throw in what's it called elemental armament too. That's also 25% more LE. There's no harm in using this one though. We kind of don't want it to inflict an LE ailment because we want to abuse the shock increased magnitude that we get from Plasma Blast, but that minion pack 2, obviously. Fresh clip is pretty sick, because this has a lot of bolts in it, so this just scales really hard. I don't know how many bolts are actually in it. I think it's 30 or something. Yeah, so this is pretty good. You can reload twice, and this just continues to do more and more damage with fresh clip. Rapid attacks, because why not? Stoicism 2, because why not? Yeah, shock burst rounds is like, I don't want to call it your primary boss killer, but it gets the job done when Plasma Blast doesn't one shot. So shock bursts are pretty sick. It's also really fun. The mandible, you guys are already knowing. Haste Aura hasted. We're not messing with that chilled ground stuff. It's not good. It's just not good. Haste Aura, enraged, hasted. We happen to have a really fast one. All three of these mods make it move quick. You can put in loyalty before Brutus Brain. If you try to do it in the opposite order, it won't let you equip it. Not actually sure if this works or not. I'm not going to go into Act 1 and unequip all my gear and test it with a benchmark mob because I'm too lazy. But if you can equip it, why not just throw it in there? You're either going to benefit from it or it's not going to do anything. Worst case scenario, we don't care. But Last Gasp doesn't do anything because he never dies, and Elemental Army doesn't do anything because he doesn't take any damage from monsters. So these two are useless, but we've had them in forever. So Whirling Slash, heightened accuracy 2. Obviously this is going to synergize with our Falcon Dive over here. Heightened accuracy 2, rage 3, 25% more attack speed. We're not at max rage or never at max rage, so this is pretty sick. Rapid attacks 3, 35% increase attack speed. Knockback is nice, and this one's 20% more attack speed. So all of this is obviously just for moving fast. We have 10.75 attacks per second with Whirling Slash with no buffs, so really good. Emergency reload just makes you do a bunch of damage. It 30% more damage, and we're throwing efficiency, CDR2, and prolonged duration. You can actually use this in whatever order you like. So like we can use the plasma shot and then press emergency reload, and if you see the number is now yellow, it does buff it. I made the mistake early of using this first and then trying to use plasma blast, and then it would run out before the boss would spawn in, because half of these bosses and maps have like a 35-second spawn animation for no reason. Namely the guy that crawls out of the ground from Act 2 that you fight at the top of the Keth area, or Deshar, or whatever it's called. Sniper's Mark we talked about earlier. The best time to use that would be after you get your plasma blast off. You would, use your emergency reload, boom, and then you press your Sniper's Mark button, and then you would hit him with the shock burst rounds. That's the best time to use it. But yeah, the really simple support setups: prolonged Mark for Death, CDR2, pretty good. Herald of Thunder, also just great damage. Deadly Herald is 30% more. Elemental Focus 25% more. Elemental Armament 2 25% more. We're just getting more and more and more everywhere we can get it. Long Shot 2 35% more when they're 7 meters away. And then Dial's Desire. This is actually expensive. You don't really need this. You can use Lighting Mastery 1. It's pretty good too. But this gives it 10% more quality, which rolls up the buff to 3 lightning bolts strike targets of your next blah blah blah. Lightning bolts strike targets of your next 3 attack hits. So this can make this roll to 7, which is nice. But yeah, this just gives it +1 and 10 quality. There might be a better place to put this, but I got it in here. Wind Dancer. I don't really know why we're using this, to be honest. This one and the Sniper's Mark can be swapped out for something. You can think of something cool. I think it's called Charge Regulation. You can throw that one in with Sniper's Mark if you actually have the patience to use this in your maps. But Magnified Area, we don't care if this does damage. Knockback to get things away from me. Maim so that they move slow. And Blind so they might miss me. And then Rage because Rage is damage. Why not? But that's the setup for that. We already talked about the weapon, but 2 additional bolts is really overpowered. Don't sleep on it. I really don't recommend foregoing that. The critical hit chance is really important too. I don't know how hard or easy these are to craft. It seems like it'd be difficult to craft because you want a bunch of fizz. 2 additional bolts is hard to get, and a good critical hit chance is hard to get. And also you have to gamble on the suffix with +6 and that the essence. So you might have a difficult time getting a crossbow. We don't give a shit what the base is, to be honest with you. This node is really good. And this node's really good. All these nodes are really good, but yeah, we're not really investing in like hyper-specific damage. Alternatively, you can try to pick up something like Cooked if you wanted. Don't sleep on Frazzled, it's really OP. Coming Calamity is not as good as you think it is. You can always go with something like Maiming Strike instead, or you can come up here and get Throat Seeker if you're trying to make any changes, but yeah, Melding is the Anoint. It's just the best one that we can get. Yeah, build doesn't have any issues really. It doesn't have mana problems because we're reloading. And yeah, it's really strong and really fun. So that is, I think that concludes the build guide. Make sure you're looking at the Ninja. None of this gear is what we actually have. Like, it's not what it seems. This is really naive. Like, this is a raw hide belt, but it's actually a header. Make sure you check these out. But yeah. Really expensive. Also, I don't know if I mentioned that, but I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Obviously, thank you as always for the support. Sorry I'm sick. Thanks for bearing with me. Thought it'd be hilarious. I'll be able to look back at this video and laugh. So, yeah.